If we are all one and the same, if we come from the same consciousness, all of us, then why do we have a twin flame? Doesn't make any sense. I'm going to explain this, it's going to be cool. Supreme Being, and welcome back. So before we understand all this, let me just say, give a shout out to the person who sent us a message on Instagram, she or he, I'm not sure, sorry, who sent us a message saying about if we are all one, if we are one and the same, why do we have a twin flame? Makes sense, because so here's the thing. I understand what you mean, and I cannot even express better than what I'm going to tell you right now. So basically, first of all, having a twin flame is a super rare event, which means you get this experience on a very unique level. It's very rare, so you might not even have a twin flame. But if you do have, then here's what you can do to find out. First of all, your intuition tells you that you have one. All your life you've been having. Second is the app of polarities, which is it's a video we made, a video explaining how you can find out who is your twin flame by finding out if she or he is your exact opposite. For example, you are yin 30% and she's yang 30%. And then there's the Kundalini Series, which shows more in-depth and much more personal, very real. It's very vibrant how you can find out if one person is really your twin flame if you have Kundalini connection. Now, what is the meaning of we are all one? We have to find out first of all the meaning. So it's a little bit interesting because we started as one entity, and then we started to divide ourselves more and more and more until we get to the point we are now. For instance, if you see, this is a dimensional consciousness, and we started as a square. It doesn't matter if it is big or if it is small. Let's just start with the big one. We were a big square. I'm putting a square as an example. Of course, it can be anything. I'm trying to explain something within the 3D world, so that's how we are going to say. So we are here, this is the square, we are all one square, and then we separate into another square. So now there's 2, and now there's 3, 4, 5, and we start to become smaller and smaller and smaller. The thing is that now we go from here and we go even smaller, or we start to grow again. So we start to grow again, but in a different direction. So this direction has many different aspects of ego, because all the egos are inside here. Okay? All the egos that we know are here. Ego is not one thing, it's many things. It's infinite, just like the universe. So we start to divide our egos and we become many aspects of the ego. Okay? Before we were all in one ego because we had it all inside of this box. Now they're all separated. And here we started to modify it and become one again, but in a different direction. And we start to grow more and more. But this is another dimension. This is another universe. This is another universe. And so on. We can make one here, we can make one there. So now we are so multiverse so unique that we cannot explain anymore who is who and what we're doing. But to make things more clear is that, for instance, now that we are all separated, but in a good sense, because we want this, we want to find out who we are, okay, and what is the purpose of life. Not to be one thing and then we don't know what we're doing, or we don't know our magnificence. For example, you are born rich, or you are born poor. You're never been rich, or you are never been poor, and you need to experience to be the opposite in order to know and value your current state. So basically, the dimensional consciousness means that we have been separating more and more and more. We became different. We are not all one anymore. In a sense, we are, but we are unique. We are not the same person. I am not like you. You are not like me, that's for sure. I am in a totally different experience than you are. Even with my twin flame, and even if you have your own twin flame, our purpose is totally different than your purpose. Your mission, your aspect, who you are, what you're doing, everything, your digits, your, I don't know how you call this, but your personal digits, fingerprints, now I know, they are totally different than mine. So this already represents and tells us that we are all different persons. We are all different people. We are not the same, and we are all one is almost like a lie. Like, it's true, but you cannot expect anything on earth to happen. We are all one. This will never happen unless we come back together, just like we were a big square. And this, I don't think is going to happen in the near future, because we are so separated. In a good way, I'm just saying generally. Of course, the world doesn't look very pretty right now in this year we are living, but I'm saying that we are not the same person. We are not the same whatsoever. We have the same race sometimes, I mean, obviously human beings are the same. They act the same way, different than, let's say, aliens or whatever. But each human being is totally different than the other. Okay? And that's what I'm trying to say. So now you come here, before you enter on earth, you decide to divide yourself. You were probably someone very big, very, very powerful, and you divide yourself into two. Okay? These two people are just one. It's you. Okay? So it's possible to come out from your constellation, divide yourself into two, and you incarnate on earth. One reincarnates, one incarnates faster than the other. Usually that's like what happens. There's a distance. Most definitely you are going to have a big age difference, and then you are set to find where each other are. So me and Patty, we are exactly the same if we are one and the same. Right now, I am separated from her. We are living together, but we are separated from each other. That's why we need to live together. Okay? But I am nothing without her, and she's nothing without me, and only the two of us together makes us one perfect being. Even though we are perfect being by ourselves, everything is perfection. But that's what it is. So you are still unique like everybody else, but on a higher level, you ultimately belong to a bigger picture, like being one with your twin flame. For instance, as an example, the higher self is the combination of all earthly lives that you have. So my higher self is totally different than your higher self, and so on. Your higher self is the culmination, or no, not the culmination, the combination of all the lives that you had on earth, okay, or other planes. So your higher self is all this, and it's still you. It's just all the memories combined together. So it's almost like you are not real. Your higher self is real, but you are a portion of all these realities, so this still makes you real. And right now, this is the present moment, so we decided to be here right now, right? So everything is, it's just a very deep to speak to all this, but I just wanted to address that if we are all one, why do we need a twin flame? Like, why do we need someone totally different than us if we are all one? I just wanted to mention the final part because on the message it says, from the person who asked this question, it says, why does my ego want this experience, like just to show off or to be egoistic, and I have my life and she has her life instead of being all one? Well, that's the point. We are here to experience and to grow. If you are all one, you are never going to experience and to grow. How does a baby act when she is born? This baby is going to be naive. He's going to do mistakes. He's going to fall apart. For example, a plant, if you are growing a plant on a pot, if you do not expose this plant on wind, this plant is going to be very rachitic, it's going to be very fragile, and the stem is not going to become thick because there's no wind, there's nothing to challenge this plant, you understand? So basically, our twin flame is our challenge. If you do have a twin flame, indeed, it is our challenge, it is our match, because it's totally different than you are. It's just amazing. Another answer for the ego is that everything is the ego. Okay, there's nowhere to run. Whether you decide to meditate, to study, to slap yourself, to eat, not to eat, to jump, not to jump, to make love, or whatever you want, this is all the ego. There's nothing that it's not. Everything is the ego and there's no escape. We are forever slaves to it, and even if you die or you go to the higher dimensions, you're still using the ego, because the ego is everything. The higher self is the ego. Everything is the ego. You have to check the video I made about the truth about the higher self. It's very cool. I'm going to try to put in the description below. Otherwise, just paste this title I just told you. And that's it.